So, as upset as you may have been, as disturbed as you may have been by bad news or worries, you have no justification for hurting my feelings. How consistent is that? How honest is that? That is the basis of forgiveness. The basis of forgiveness is, if I'm entitled to have human weaknesses that make me resentful, that make me defensive and protective of self, then why can't I also recognize that you have human weaknesses? One of the themes of Rosh Hashana, the new year, is forgiveness. Forgiveness is really an invaluable part of a new year because it's letting go of the negative hang-ups of the past year or of the past. So forgiveness really is important if you want to have a new beginning, a new start. Now, God forgives us for the sins we committed against Him, but the sins we committed against people, against our neighbors, friends, and relatives, for that we have to gain forgiveness from the offended party. Now, one of the things people get hung up on is the question, why should I forgive? Particularly if there was no sincere request for forgiveness. If they're not begging me to forgive them, why should I? Forgiveness is not that kind of thing. You don't need to be asked. Forgiveness means moving upward. Not forgiving means staying stuck below. So if you want to move up, you have to unburden yourself of the resentment, of the anger, of the hatred. That's why you forgive. Actually, there are two kinds of forgiveness. One is forgiveness that comes from the forgiver. And that is, I don't want to carry around the weight or the negativity or the toxins of resentment and hurt. So I forgive. I forgive for my own benefit. Or I forgive because it's just not my personality or my character to walk around angry and resentful. That's a kind of forgiveness that God offers. And we mention it many times in the prayers on Rosh Hashana, Yom Kippur. God forgives because He is a forgiving judge. He forgives by nature, if we can use that term. But there's another kind of forgiveness, which we also mention on Yom Kippur and on Rosh Hashana, and that is, I forgive you as you requested. Solachti kidvarecha. That's a different kind of forgiveness. It's much deeper. It's not, I am the forgiving type and so I forgive you. That means there's no more negativity, there's no thought of punishment or revenge. I forgive means I carry no grudge. There's nothing very positive about it. It's just the removal of negativity. The second kind of forgiveness is much more positive. I forgive you because you asked, and I didn't think I would. I didn't think that your asking for forgiveness would mean anything to me. But to my surprise, your words did get to me, which tells me that I really want this friendship. So now I feel closer than I did before. So it's not only the removal of negative feelings, it's actually strengthening and increasing the positive feelings. Now, if we could have that kind of reaction to the people we've hurt, or the people who we've hurt by, That would be wonderful. But that's asking a lot. That's ambitious. At the very least, minimum, we should rid ourselves of any resentment. And that doesn't mean not mentioning the offense. It means erasing the offense. I'm not offended, I'm not hurt, I'm not resentful, I'm not revengeful. Why? Well, here we get to the essence of what it's all about. Why do we get upset in the first place? What does it mean to be offended? What does it mean to be resentful? Where is that coming from? It's coming from the preciousness of myself. Since I am precious, anything that hurts me, aggravates me, disturbs me, is unacceptable. Because the me is so valuable and so important, no one may upset the me. If the me is not that important, then I don't get upset in the first place. So, being human, I do have an ego. It's embarrassing, but I can't deny it. It's a human failing, but it's real. So as I get offended by what you did, I'm justifying it because I'm human. And humans have feelings. But at the same time, I don't justify what you did on the grounds that it's human. So my humanity I take very seriously. As embarrassing as it is, I'm human. So I have feelings. But you don't get to be human. You're not entitled to human failings. So as upset as you may have been, as disturbed as you may have been by bad news or worries, you have no justification for hurting my feelings. How consistent is that? How honest is that? That is the basis of forgiveness. The basis of forgiveness is, if I'm entitled to have human weaknesses that make me resentful, that make me defensive and protective of self, then why can't I also recognize that you have human weaknesses? When you're upset, you say things, you do things. When you're distracted and you're not thinking clearly, you may make some mistakes. Isn't that human too? So really, I have no reason to be upset. So forgiveness doesn't mean, in my generous mood, I will allow you to get away with your crime of hurting me. You didn't hurt me. I had no reason to get hurt. And although being a human being, I did feel offended and whatever, but that was just for the moment. Now that I think about it, I wasn't hurt. No damage done. I understand human frailties, and so I have no reason to be angry at you. That's real forgiveness. That's what we expect God to give us. So before Rosh Hashana, if you can think of someone you want to make up with, if you can think of someone you want to forgive, that would be appropriate. The second appropriate thing to do before Rosh Hashana is to give charity as often as you can. Like 5 times a day. Because that also is reaching out to others, showing concern for others, rather than being totally focused on self. That would be the worst thing we could do. Rosh Hashanah is coming, I got to get my act together. Getting your act together means you can't think of anybody else. That's how the problems began. The reason you have stuff to fix and things to apologize for is because you get into this me first, and then you do things that you regret. So on Rosh Hashanah, in preparation for Rosh Hashanah, we should think of others first. Giving charity means thinking of others. So at every opportunity, you have a few coins in your pocket, you have a request either in the mail or in person, you see an opportunity, give tzedakah as often as possible, and then God will bless us all with His tzedakah and give us more than we need, more than we want, even more than we expect. Shana Tova, have a good and sweet year. If you enjoyed this conversation or this topic, and you're looking for more information, or you want to hear it again from another angle, there's a way to do that. And that is in this book. It's all there. Order it from Amazon. You can read it, reread it, and share it. We have a Sunday night program for VIPs that you might be interested in. It's informal. It's questions and answers. It's conversation. It's really relaxed. It's really pleasant, enjoyable, informative, and kind of community-like. It's a Sunday night program. There's a Wednesday morning program for the VIPs, and there's a Wednesday night program. All of it just conversation, casual, laid back, unscripted. So join us. Take a look. Click the link below and see which of the three suits you best, and join us for some enjoyable conversation.